Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So tomorrow, Agit Kabayel will be defending his EBU title against Del Boy Derek Chisora. I did a style breakdown of this fight when it was first announced. I didn't really do a prediction on it, so I'm giving my prediction right now. Kabayel is a guy I've covered. I've done a few videos on him. I did a prospect watch video on him about 2 years ago. So I know about Kabayel. I would have liked to see him fight Wak. It's not his fault. Wak ended up pulling out the fight. Wak was actually the guy he was going to fight for the EBU title. And then Wak ended up pulling out that fight. He ends up defeating Herb Hubot for the vacant EBU title. The reason I say that so I can gauge him a little bit better, because this, as far as level of opposition, this is by far his toughest fight. He does have the youth. He's, I believe, 8 years younger than Chisora. He turned pro in 2011. Does not have an extensive amateur background. He's pretty much still learning on the job. This is his 17th fight. When I look at his skill set, even though it's against lesser opposition, he has the type of style, if he has the chin, and if his stamina can hold up being pressured, he has the style that can defeat Derek Chisora. He can kind of do what, I'm not saying he's David Haye, but he can kind of do what David Haye was able to do, and somewhat what Dillian Whyte was able to do, especially early in that fight, Dillian Whyte. You know, move a little bit, make Chisora chase you around a little bit, make him be a plotter, make him just plow forward, chasing after you. Use angles, use your jab, combinations. When you get in close, trade a little bit, but then, you know, hold, let the ref break. That type of fight. Catch him on his way in with uppercuts, hooks. Use his jab. Kabayel has a good jab that I've seen in his fights. Again, lesser opposition, but he has a good snapping jab. I believe it was the Aluakun fight where I seen his jab look pretty sharp in that fight. He kind of was getting tired down the stretch. He won the fight, you know what I mean? But man, I just think the inexperience may cost him in this fight. I can see this being that type of fight where he may lose the fight, but then this makes him a better fighter down the stretch, and he comes back and he picks up some good victories. You know what I mean? On the especially the European level. But although I believe he has the type of style, I can't fully say I trust his chin yet, just because I haven't seen it really tested like that. Doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that it means everything, but it's just, I know what I got with Chisora. You know, I kind of know what I'm getting with Derek Chisora, rather. That's what I mean. I know what I'm getting when it comes to him. With Kabayel, it's packaged right, you know what I mean? But I'm just not completely sure. I'm going to go with Chisora in this fight. I mean, we can argue that the first Whyte fight was debatable. His fight with Pulev was a split decision, although I thought Pulev won that fight. A lot of people thought it was very close. Chisora, you know, he's had his fair share of losses, man. He's gotten stopped before, you know, but some of his losses were debatable. And I still think he has some fights left in him. I really do. And I think he's going to be too much for Kabayel. I can see Kabayel winning the first few rounds, winning some rounds in this fight, whether it goes by decision or he gets stopped. I think sooner or later, I'm not going to go, oh man, I don't want to go stoppage, because Chisora really isn't a massive, huge puncher. He is a heavyweight now. They can throw hands, you know. But I think he may just outwork Kabayel. I think Kabayel youth, and just, you know, sometimes when young guys are thrown in this fight, them not knowing, meaning just being in these type of situations and just the adrenaline of everything can just push them forward, you know what I mean? But I'm going to go with Chisora, man, by decision in this fight. I think he's going to win 8 rounds to 4, somewhere in there. Just high value and pressure. I think he'll lose some rounds, maybe even the first 3, somewhere in there. Then I think he'll start to take over gradually. I think Kabayel may start to slow down. I think Chisora will find a way to cut the ring off and let combinations go, and just, you know, bring Kabayel into waters he's never been in as far as a professional heavyweight fight. But I do, man, it's kind of hard to pick, man. I mean, you look at the names, you just say, oh, some guys don't even know who Kabayel is, but you just pick Chisora off the top. But if you actually break down Kabayel's style and what he's able to do in the ring, he has a type of style that can beat Chisora, in my opinion. He moves his head pretty well. again, it's all against lesser opposition compared to Derek Chisora, but I'm gonna go with Chisora in this fight. Hopefully, I'm wrong. You know, hopefully Kabayel can win this fight and he can etch his name in there with, you know, another guy that's, you know, trying to make himself a contender for one of these titles, man. You know, try to break the break it to the top 15 of one of these sanctioned bodies and try to work his way up and add his name to the Adam Konowskis and guys like that. You know, so speaking of Konowski, it's kind of like Konowski when he beat Spilka. Although I think Chisora has more left than Spilka. That type of fight, though, you know, where you can beat a former title contender and move your way up. But, man, I'm going to go with Del Boy in this fight, man. I'm going to go with Del Boy in this fight by decision. Unanimous decision, Derek Chisora. We'll see. We will see, man. But Agit Kabayel is a guy, like I said, man. I know who he is. I've done videos on Prospect Watch videos. He caught my eye. He's a good German prospect. I like what I see, but I'm going to go with Chisora in this fight, man. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm gone.